absolutely have seen silver this unloved, which is why I'm so attracted to it. 1988, 1989, silver was perversely a four-letter word. I mean, people really, 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 truly hated it. And we took advantage of that to build two companies. One called Silver Standard, which went from 72 cents to $45. The other called Pan American Silver, which went from 50 cents to about $45. I look for hatred. I look for circumstances where I have no competitors. And I particularly enjoy circumstances where I have no competitors, where I have lots of volatility in the sector.
Gold and silver prices generally move in tandem, but they also have their own specific properties. With silver, the risk is higher, but so is the potential return. While not considered the most volatile precious metal, silver is widely regarded as a volatile metal, especially when compared to gold. Silver is also more tied to the global economy and prone to significant price fluctuations during periods of economic expansion or compression. Over the years, silver has also continuously established itself as a monetary metal. Half of all silver is used in heavy industry and high technology, including smartphones, tablets, automobile electrical systems, solar panels, and many other products and applications. With so many macro and economic events converging in 2024, various financial experts and popular analysts are predicting a very eventful year for precious metals like gold and silver. Sprott Global Resource founder and chief executive officer Rick Rule is especially bullish on silver. Rick sees a lot of upside potential in silver in 2024, primarily because of all the negative sentiments surrounding silver investments at the moment. It's quite clear that silver is currently one of, if not the most hated precious metal. Even investors with thousands of dollars in silver are turning negative and doubtful. But Rick believes this is not the turn to lose faith, but to become even more bullish. The legendary investor sees a huge opportunity in investing in silver now, when it's so hated and fighting hard to make any significant price move. Rick recently had an interview with the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference channel alongside Lobo Tigre, the editor and founder of IndependentSpeculator.com. During the interview, Lobo and Rick gave their analysis and predictions for silver and gold, as we start a new year with lots of possibilities. We will now bring you clips from the conversation. Please watch the video to the end so you don't miss any of the priceless information the renowned analysts share. Also, ensure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos.
I look for hatred. I look for circumstances where I have no competitors. And I particularly enjoy circumstances where I have no competitors, where I have lots of volatility in the sector. And silver gives you volatility in steroids. I don't know why it is, Jesse, but in my experience, gold has to establish the precious metals narrative. I suspect because the fear buyer comes first. But when the fear buyer establishes the momentum in the precious metals narrative and the generalist investor comes into the sector, when they begin to come into silver, and in particular when they come into the silver equities, the move to the upside, although it occurs later, is further and faster and is really, truly dramatic. And I look at the sector now. I look at a company, that releases really good drill holes in context, right? Not like one-hole wonders drilling right down an epithermal vein, but in fact, a panel of holes that establishes tonnage and grade, and the stock comes off. There is nothing I like to see more than that. There is nothing I like to see more than demonstrable value thrown away, because I know that when sentiment returns, the people who were absolutely unwilling to buy silver at $25 will be killing themselves to buy it at $50. I guess perhaps what I am is a pawnbroker to emotional people. I've now graded, Jesse, over 80,000 individual portfolios. And I've learned a lot about how people invest. And one of the things I've learned is that a market is not a source of information. It's a facility for buying and selling fractional ownership of businesses. If you take your information from the market, from momentum, you will always buy high and you will always sell low, because that's what the market does. As an individual, it's not up to you. Well, it is up to you. You can be taken advantage of by the market, or you can take advantage of the market. It's simply up to you. Buying silver when it's hated just makes absolutely more sense than buying silver when it's loved.
I know the hate is going to start coming here, but you will be happy to know haters of Darth Silver, that even Darth Silver is bullish on silver going ahead, but not right away. I do think that it's material and relevant that silver's industrial side is taking a greater role. We can see that in the price action. Overall, the correlation is still high with gold, but you watch the daily charts, the intraday charts, and they frequently silver looks more like copper than gold. The good news is I actually think that longer term, the industrialization of silver, if you will, is net a positive. It makes it a win-win. Debasement of the fiat currencies of the world is great for gold and silver. And at the same time, if you get a commodities reflationary boom, that industrial side comes in. So there are scenarios where we can foresee where things seem to be okay. We're in a reflationary boom, the fear factor goes away, and gold, the bid goes down. But silver's industrial demand holds it up. So regardless of this pattern of silver lagging gold and then eventually more than catching up, setting that aside for a moment, there's a scenario where silver outperforms gold because of its increasingly industrial side. So
Lobo is currently considered anti-silver because he is one of the few people warning about potential downsides in silver. However, he is not entirely bearish on the precious metal. Lobo has painted two scenarios for silver prices in 2024. The first scenario comes if the US economy slides into a recession. Being more and more of an industrial metal now, Lobo believes that will put some serious downward pressure on silver prices. But that will only last for a short while, just until the Federal Reserve starts printing again to save the markets. The other scenario is one of recovery for both the economy and silver prices. This will, of course, be bullish for silver and other commodities. In essence, Lobo, like Rick, is bullish on silver in both scenarios. He just believes it might take more time than people expect. During the interview, Rick and Lobo also gave their predictions and outlook on gold. Here are some more clips.
Strongly about gold looking into 2024 as I did about uranium in looking forward to 2023. And if you recall, at the time, uranium had spiked in 2021 and then it came back and people were leaving it for dead. Like, what's wrong? Oh my gosh, it's been months since uranium went up. Like a month is a long time for a speculator somehow. Rick Rule's long weekend quip. But anyway, so, at that time, uranium stocks were hated and absent a nuclear accident, the fundamentals were just there. Rick's criteria of Japan restarts was starting to happen. My criteria of long-term contracts starting to be signed was starting to happen. Like these were happening now things. So it was an easy call for 2023 to pick the other yellow metal. I look at that this way, almost as a win-win for 24 on gold. I still am in the hard landing camp. I think that opens the fear sphincters again and creates more safe haven demand. I think it also, for anybody that's forward-looking, which the markets supposedly are, they know that the powers that be are going to respond with more money helicopters and all that good stuff, which is going to bring on more inflation. And gold leads inflation. People often say, well, how come it doesn't correlate with CPI? Well, it moves before. We saw that in 2020. I think we'll see that again in 2024. And I'm perhaps waxing too rhapsodic here. But my message is I'm looking at the macro situation much more than the technicals or anything else. And I may be wrong. Maybe we don't get the recession, but if I'm right, I think golds go screaming up. And if I'm wrong, if we go into happy days again, that's bullish for all commodities anyway. If gold goes into a commodities bull starting from a base around $2,000 an ounce, I think that's phenomenal for gold. That's what I meant by a win-win for 2024.
Jesse, you led the question with a common fallacy, which is to say that gold is broken out to all-time highs. That's all-time highs in nominal dollars. If you measure gold in real dollars, gold's got a lot further to go. I personally couldn't care about whether gold is at 1,900 or 2,000 or 2,100. I own it, not because I hope it goes up, but because I'm afraid it's going to really go up. And the set of circumstances that would cause gold to go up would do damage to the rest of my standard of living, which, by the way, is very good. So I don't own it as a greed trade, hoping for $2,500. I own it as a fear trade, afraid of $8,000 or some number like that. Like Lobo, when I juxtapose the upside to the downside, it begins to look stupidly attractive to me. Could it go to $1,700? Sure. Could it go to $7,000? Sure. Juxtapose those two numbers and try and talk yourself out of buying gold. The market share of precious metals and precious metals related assets in the United States is less than 0.5%, which is to say, if you take the value of all savings and investment assets in the United States, precious metals and precious metals related assets comprise less than 0.5% of that. According to JP Morgan Chase, no friend of gold, the median market share of precious metals and precious metals related equities over 40 years is 2%. So if the type of fear I have about certain aspects of the monetary system comes to be true, I'm not suggesting that gold is going to dethrone the dollar. I'm saying it's going to lose the fight less badly. I'm saying in particular that we're going to revert to mean. And if we revert to mean, we have a fourfold increase in demand. And that is precisely what I think is going to happen.
Rick and Lobo are seasoned investors in the natural resource space with decades of experience, countless successful ventures, and on-the-mark calls. One of Rick's most recent calls was predicting that uranium was about to go from most hated to highly desirable. He is predicting the same with silver based on the metal's increasing popularity in several industries and sectors, and the extremely low sentiments amongst silver investors. By Rick's estimates, the wind is shifting from silver prices facing a headwind to silver and gold having the wind in their sails. He believes we are about a significant metals bull market, led by gold but championed by silver in the long run. Please share your thoughts on the interview. Also, ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.